Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Afro, SheepDog. Pleasure to have you. So, some recent news about billionaire Elon Musk. Over the last 2 weeks, he's been in the news for a spat of different things, really. But the most prominent being he was said to have said some, or at least concurred or agreed with certain anti Semitic tweets. There's also tension around certain placement of ads on the platform. And so what we've seen is advertisers, advertisers, have started to pull out of working with X, formerly known as Twitter. And so most folks are wondering, of course, what is Elon's response to all of this? Most folks are wondering, how does he navigate what in front of him? Most folks are wondering, in fact, there was even a period over the last couple of weeks where there was a campaign for the female CEO of X to step down in order to save her name. So all of these different instances point to Wall Street, in certain ways, Main Street, seeing Elon as an issue that would affect the stability of the companies he manages. The same can also be said for Tesla, it has affected their stock prices over the last few years. So today we're going to take a look at some of that. We're going to take a look at what triggered all of this. We're going to take a look at some of the fallout from it, and then we'll take a look at his response. We also have to say that Elon took a trip to Israel, and a lot of people have some questions about his intentions with that. So we'll take a look and we'll see um, what he has to say about it as well. Um, so the first thing we're going to take a look at here would be what he said, or at least what he agreed with. And so we see that here. I won't be speaking to any of this. I'll leave it on the screen for you to see and read in your own form. I do have to say we neither condone nor criticize anybody's opinion here. The purpose of this channel is free speech. What we are exercising is free speech. Everybody has a right to say what they want to say. Uh, we hold our own opinion on a lot of different matters, and we'll leave it as that. So what we see here is the tweet. First of all, recognize that this is in response to this tweet right here. Um, Now, I don't know why anybody would say that this individual is right. Any form of offing a group of people is never okay. I don't care what your motivation is. So that's never okay. And so we see the response. This individual feels that the community that's being spoken of has pushed some of the same vitriol against quote unquote whites. I think that's an interesting take. Maybe they're speaking to who would run the media, allegedly, and then the way the media is pushed racial agenda. I don't know. All of this is allegedly. I have no idea. I'm just speculating. But long story short, Elon himself responded this. Now, following that, what we found was a flurry of responses. This was about November 16th, thereabout. Does it say it there? Oh, 15th. There you go. And so we saw the mainstream media really cover it and put a big focus on it. And so some of the next things we saw were CEOs like Bob Iger pulling out. He said here, of course, speaking at a New York Times Deal Book Summit, he said that he does have a lot of respect for Elon when he's accomplished. However, he's going to be stopping the advertisements as a result of the positions that Elon has taken, especially being in a public position. It's interesting that this is coming from Disney, considering the different steps they've taken over the last couple of years, the different positions they've taken. Um, I think it's always interesting for us to understand where each of these corporate entities stand. In a lot of ways, corporations are going to turn into overly loud individuals. In a lot of ways, they move as such. They're hive-minded, and the best companies in the world do have that sort of cult mentality. So, it's important to recognize that corporations do move in that sense. And so when you see this and you see others like him make the same move, that there's no doubt that conversations were had and boundaries were placed that these companies have to adhere to. So the next thing we see is Elon speaking with Andrew Ross Sorkin, and he speaks on a couple of different things. So first of all, this is him speaking on his trip to Israel and what the intentions there were. Let's listen.
A lot of folks called me up and said, you really going to host Elon Musk here? Can you believe what he just said on Twitter? On X. On X.
Yeah. So I don't, no idea what this Twitter thing is you keep talking about.
Should you platform him? That's what they said.
Yeah.
Should you platform him? And I said that I think that it's our role, and I know you have issues with journalists.
I have a platform.
I know you have an issue with journalists oftentimes, but I said it's our role to...
I like how he ignored that. He does have a platform. This is the new age. You can't necessarily platform an individual. Well, unless you own YouTube.
Have conversations and to inquire and to sometimes even interrogate ideas. And
sure.
I'm hoping we can do that. So I want to start just so we can begin this conversation and just level set. Take us through everything that happened, if you could.
Everything?
No, over the past week and a half.
How long have you got?
We've got the time.
Okay.
You send out a post or an X or a tweet.
Yeah,
I don't know what
post,
you want to
whatever,
describe it as.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to change. Like when things were just 140 characters, it made sense to call them a tweet because there's like a bunch of little birds chirping. But when the point at which you can put like 3-hour videos on, it's like it's a very long tweet.
So here we are.
Post is more descriptive, I think.
And at some point, I don't know where you were, but you write in responding to another tweet.
Yes.
This is the actual truth. And it set off a firestorm of criticism all the way to the White House.
Right.
And then you make this trip to Israel. You have advertisers who've left the platform. People calling
Well, the trip to Israel is independent of it wasn't some like apology tour. I want to be clear. That was.
Well, let's talk about that. So just take us back to the moment.
It sounds like it's important for him to make that statement clear that he's not just taking the trip.
At which you write that.
The trip to Israel is independent of. It wasn't like in response to that at all.
Well, we'll do Israel in just a moment.
And I have no problem being hated, by the way.
I hear
Hate
you.
away.
Well, but you know what?
That's the level of confidence you have to take on a mob like this. Get him, Elon?
Let's go straight to that then for a second.
Sure.
Because there is an idea, and you could say that
I think it's a real weakness to want to be liked. A real weakness. And I do not have that.
So you see there a couple of very interesting things from that part. I think first of all, it's very interesting that Andrew Ross Sorkin, that Andrew really wants to press him on behalf of the supposed people somewhere that ask for him to be deplatformed. These mainstream media outlets, I don't think they've realized that the internet has provided us independence of them. I think they still think we need them. As long as they can hold an opinion, anybody else can hold an opinion in the current climate. Because we all have a platform. I'm speaking to you from my platform, however little this may be. So the idea of deplatforming, or at least threatening to deplatform an individual by, say, not giving him an interview, in today's day and age, it only says more about you, who's trying to censor me, than it does myself. So Elon had more to say about the advertisers who have left his platform as their way of protesting the stance he took. And I would say it falls in line with the position he has already, the position he's already stated for us here. Let's check it out.
What was that trip like? And obviously, you know that there's a public perception that, and you're clarifying this now, But there's a public perception that that was part of a apology tour, if you will. That this had been said online. There was all of the criticism. There was advertisers.
He literally just told you it's not an apology tour. You trying to be slick with your words, buddy?
Leaving, we talked to Bob Iger
I hope
today.
they stop.
You hope
Don't advertise.
you don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself.
Oh.
But
Go yourself. I hope it is. Hey, Bob.
Yo. Hold up.
I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
well, let me ask you then.
That, my dear friends, is the face of a man who is befuddled. See, he thought he was going to come into this position, into this conversation, present those questions, present it from a stick and teacher position, and Elon would say, "Oh, please, my dear masters, my advertising masters, please." I'm sorry, but what happens when I don't care? What happens when you can't, as he said it, blackmail me with money? What happens when I'm so independent that you can't cancel me? See, by utilizing the cancellation power so strongly, these individuals, I don't think they realize it, but they made us numb to the impact of it. And I say us as in those of us who choose to rebel against the traditional opinions. Again, I wish to categorically state I neither condone nor criticize anything said in these videos. None of it reflects my opinion. We are purely watching this for reaction purposes.
That's how I feel. Don't advertise.
How do you think then about the economics of X? If part of the underlying model, at least today, and maybe it needs to shift, maybe the answer is it needs to shift away from advertising. If you believe that this is the one part of your business where you will be beholden to those who have this view, what do you do?
F-Y.
I understand there's reality too.
The media has never seen this before. Do you understand? They've never recognized that before now. Every single CEO was scared to bits about the impact of every word they say on stock market pricing. Every CEO was worried about the impact. By him taking this thing private, one, but two, just by him taking the stance, it's like, okay, so if we can't discipline him through that lever, what then can we? It's going to be interesting to watch, quote unquote, how they escalate it.
Right?
Yes. No.
I mean, Linda
no,
Yaccarino's right here, and she's got to sell advertising.
Absolutely. So, totally. No. Actually, what this advertising boycott is going to do, it's going to kill the company.
And do you think that
And the whole world will know that those advertisers killed the company, and we will document it in great detail.
But those advertisers, I imagine, are going to say they're going to.
This idiot missed the point. This idiot missed. Oh gosh, this kid is a dude. So he's saying, if you censor me to the point where you kill this company, the whole world just watched you do that, right? As a result of Twitter's size and Twitter's impact in culture, the whole world is watching this. And so he's saying, I challenge you to come out with your pants down. That's a very interesting stance.
They say we didn't kill the company.
Oh yeah.
They're going to say.
Tell it to Earth.
But they're going to say, Elon, that you killed the company because you said these things, and that they were inappropriate things, and that they didn't feel comfortable on the platform, right? That's what they're going to say.
And let's see how Earth responds to that.
Okay, this goes back.
This man is so uncomfortable with this. Oh my God. Yesterday we talked about how do you respond to bullies. We've seen Dana White do it, and now we're seeing Elon do it. This is how you treat bullies. You tell them, I don't care. You're gonna punch me? All right, punch. Let's see. All that's gonna show is that you're punching me. You're a bully. It says nothing about me. It doesn't speak to who I am at all. It only speaks to who you are. And you're showing the world your pants down. And this individual, it's not registering for him. It's literally not registering.
And we'll see what the outcome is.
What are the economics of that for you? I mean, you have enormous resources, so you can actually keep this company going for a very long time. Would you keep it going for a long time if there was no advertising?
I mean, if the company fails because of an advertiser boycott, it will fail because of an advertiser boycott. And that will be what bankrupted the company, and that's what everybody on Earth will know.
What do you think then of the, again, this goes back to the idea of trust, though.
Then it'll be gone. And it'll be gone because of an advertiser boycott.
But you recognize that some of those people are going to say that they didn't feel comfortable on the platform. And I just wonder and ask you, and think about that for a second.
Tell it to the judge.
But the judge is going to be...
The judge is the public.
The world has changed, and everyone has a mic now. We will have to redefine our understanding of free speech, or else the conversation is going to stall. That's an interesting position to take. I really think so. I didn't realize that's where he was going with that. Because, see, it's the first time that we're going to see this system be challenged as far as this new technology system. All right, you think about Palo Alto, you think about, Silicon Valley, you think about Hollywood, you think about all of these folks, right? They all sort of have this synergy. And this is one of the first times we're seeing a direct challenge against it by somebody who can match them. And so leaving it to the public to decide how they feel this played out and who the good guy and bad guy is an interesting position. Because he's not taking any actions. He's just, you do what you feel. I feel that it might lead to analysis paralysis, and these guys might make a misstep. But here's the great thing. You're going to be here with me. And we are going to watch every single step of this. And we're going to see how this plays out from Mr. Musk. And we're going to see how this plays out for us, the netizens. Because as he's told us, we're the judge. Folks, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I like that last one. This is home.